one thing you just got to know. You let it go. You let it go. Instead of sitting there crying, I ain't lying. You let it go. Times are hard, friends leave, doors closed, but I believe you let it go. You let it go. Instead of sitting there crying, I ain't lying. You let it go. Well, stand up, bend down, pick your hat up off the ground, dust off your traveling coats, walk down that new road. Well, the one you love walks out that door. You don't need that one no more. You let it go. You let it go. Instead of sitting there crying, I ain't lying. You let it go. One more thing to make me bum. You let it go. You let it go. Instead of sitting there crying, I ain't lying. You let it go. Because there's too much fun to be missing none. You let it go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Big Blend Radio with Nancy and Lisa. You just heard the very first track off of the album. It's called Busman's Holiday, and it is by the Asheville classic jump blues and swing group called Virginia and the Slims. And so the first track, what you just heard, is called Let It Go. And I think we all should just let it go sometimes and go party, have a good time. But really an awesome kickoff to the album. And as I was saying, this is their debut full-length album. They're based out of Asheville-North-Carolina. And we're super excited to have the band's vocalist, Joanna-Best, join us. And I encourage you to go to their website, virginiaandtheslims.net. Facebook.com, go to /Virginia and the Slims, just type that in. And you can get the album on Amazon, Spotify, Jacksta, Pandora, Apple, all over the place. But welcome, Joanna. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great today.
Hey,
Good.
It's good to have you. So Busman's Holiday, I love the title of this, and I love the cover too. It just kind of, it goes with the whole sound, and you don't hear this sound very often. And I kind of think it goes with some of the history of North Carolina, though, and Asheville specifically being such an arts community, whether it's music, writing, painting, Asheville's history of the arts is so deep, but I feel like your music really connects with there and, around
Definitely.
the world. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, vibrant and retro would be the words I would assign.
Ah. Get to be
that I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Whoa, we're retro. No. We like the
Retro.
retro. No, it's really cool. And so, Virginia and the Slims. So the Slims are the band, and Virginia was the initial vocalist. And I was reading about you guys, and I'm like, okay, so the band has gone through changes, but it's like we're staying, and you've got a good sound, so you should. So, you're the third lead vocalist now, right?
I am, but I'm the longest standing one. I've
So
been Virginia
therefore,
for almost
she's
6
like,
years.
Well
that's it.
said.
Yeah.
Well
Yes.
said.
Yes.
80% me.
You go, girl. You go, girl. And so the album has 10 songs. And so majority was written by James Camp, and he's a founding member of the band. So give us a lineup. Let's get to who are the Virginia and the Slims. Who are the Slims? We got you. You're the Joanna. You're the lead singer.
That's right. I'm Virginia.
Who are the Slims?
Yes, James on saxophone, James Camp, and he wrote most of the songs, and I co-wrote the others. On the bass now we have Charlie Mojo. He is not on the CD. That was a different bass player. Charles Singletary is our keyboard player, and when we did the recording, there aren't a whole lot of keys on there, but when there were, James covered those. Yes, and then on our drums we have John Barrett, and he is on the CD, and we have guitar player from California, Howie Neal, and he is on the CD. And we've just added another guitar player, Kim Eyring, just to fill out the sound a little more, share some of the solo work. So there are 7 of us at the moment.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. And that's quite a good sound. And by the way, the sax playing on the album is awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
James is a fun player. Yeah, he's a fun player.
Yeah.
Cool.
What was the beginning of like, let's have this sound out there? Because it's a blues, we're going to be sorry, or we're going to be, naughty, or, we're going to get down and dirty basically. But then this sound, kind of takes me back to 40s, 50s. It's like fun, but it has that quality
Edge.
of, the
edge.
Yeah, the edge. It's almost big bandy to me,
Exactly. So the history of jug blues is that around World War II, when there were fewer men around to play in the horn sections, which would have been pretty big from the big band era,
Right.
they reduced those lines and put them in the sax and the guitar. And that's how you got jump blues, which then, of course, led into rock and roll, really. So it does have that kind of retro big band swing feel, but I love that we get to still use, the electric guitar. I love good guitar lines and good guitar solos, so we can still put in our when we're covering things, Stevie Ray Vaughan and stuff like that. But then we've got our Junior Wells and our Little Willie John,
on
vintage sound.
I love that. So now you play in Asheville, and then I know you've been touring North Carolina. Do you see yourself touring nationally, or it's kind of hard with like COVID right now? Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, that's what I would like to do. My dream route would be to leave here and head west through, really just on 40, through Knoxville, Nashville, Memphis. I'd like to go all the way to Medicine Park, Oklahoma. They have a kind of hidden blues scene there, and then head north through Joplin, Missouri, up to Kansas City. Yeah, over to St. Louis and back down.
That sounds like
would
a
be
song.
my ideal tour. Yeah,
that sounds like a song. What you just said.
Yeah.
Does it?
Well, also here's the thing too. When people, the style of music, a lot of people go, okay, to the standards, and I love that you're also writing your own music. I think that's so important, because that's one thing that will keep a music genre alive. And also that It's not like the pure, it's not pure. It's the way you guys want to do it, your sound, So
yes, I felt like it was an important next step for us to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. So have you always lived in Asheville?
I have lived in Asheville for 14 years. But I did grow up in North Carolina for the most part. Florida, I was born in Florida. I lived in New Orleans. And then as a young adult, I was out in Kansas City trying to soak up all the music history I could there and play. And so I still had that. That's part of the appeal, too, of this genre.
Yeah. Yeah, Kansas City.
So 14 years here.
Yeah. And New Orleans? New Orleans. Then you really get it.
As a child. Yeah. It's in my veins.
Yeah. Did you sing as a kid?
I did. I started singing when I was 6. I'm a preacher's daughter, so we often are expected to be participating in the music in church, and I was just, in the South especially. So that's where I started when I was 6. Then I had a musical family and took piano lessons and did school and community singing as much as I could. And I didn't really start doing rock until I was in my early 20s. And then that kind of led into the blues and stuff. So, but my whole life.
And what led you to Asheville? Because it's a cool town.
Well,
man. It's a city, I know, but it's a town to me. It's cool.
It's funny how Asheville kind of draws people to it, and nobody can really explain why.
Yeah. No, we keep circling. Nancy, isn't that the truth? We keep going to Asheville.
We keep circling back.
There's something about it.
Yeah, it's good friends, I think. And I don't know, the mountains. You got Smoky Mountains. It's
beautiful.
You have beer.
Yeah, I have family close by who settled here from Florida. And we would come to Asheville area as a kid. I actually came up for music camps and stuff too. So singing and being nurtured musically in this area was something that, I was a part of. And I actually did my master's not far away in Boone, which is the mountains too.
Yeah. We've been there.
Region. Yeah. So it was a logical choice. And probably the 14 years I've been here have gone really fast. So that's how I know it's a good fit, because it's just clicked along,
It's kind of, it's very relaxing, and in some ways reminds me of the California coast. It's kind of laid back.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. And also just, it's so, what would be the word? I look around sometimes and it's like, wow, I didn't even have to travel to a foreign country to take in this beautiful scenery, just the horizon itself on a daily basis is breathtaking, and exotic in a way. So,
that's
cool.
To me, Asheville is beautiful, and then it's got it. I think what Nancy, for us, this is weird. It reminds us of Cape Town, the downtown, and just the roads. It reminds us of Cape Town in South Africa, which is a harbor city, and it's beautiful with the mountains, Table Mountain, good wine. So you got beer. I know you have wineries around there. Isn't there like the chimney?
We do.
The Chimney Rock or something? That big rock that sticks out.
Yeah. I played there and warmed up down in the creek, which was fun. tuned and went over the set list, kind of standing with our feet in the water, which is kind of cool.
Wow. So that is cool. Well, you guys have waterfalls everywhere too. So,
yes, we do.
Yeah, but you have those big rivers that come together. What is it? I don't want to say Swanee, because
we have the French Broad.
Yeah.
French Broad River.
And the Swananoa come together. So it's like,
and there's the Green River too, I think.
Oh, wow.
There's several. Man. And then just over in Tennessee, the Nolatucky, and then
So
it's like a meeting place for water.
Well,
exactly.
Then the 4 seasons, there's something to that too, having 4 seasons, and not like crazy 4 seasons from what we've experienced. I don't know. We're going to be there in December. Are we going to get cold? I think so.
Yes, you will. Well, the CD, we started work on it, learning everything in the hot summer, June, July. And then it was Labor Day for recording, and then fall, for releasing. And so, of course, we hope over Christmas and
good Christmas gift.
Yeah.
It will be being soaked up and enjoyed.
And Mardi Gras season, because we're going to play
Mardi
that.
Gras.
We got to say,
yes, exactly.
Mardi Gras. We're going to play it. Take Me to the Mardi Gras. I mean, come on. I think New Orleans has got a little slap in Asheville. Like New Orleans touched Asheville a little bit. Maybe you brought it there.
Well,
just
as a river culture, I think the river culture too. There is something spiritual, for lack of a better word, that comes through in the music, or earthy is a better word. Although that seems like the opposite of spiritual, but it's not when you tap into the earth religions like voodoo and stuff like that. Which
I think
to me, the vibe
I think it depends on whether you go down or up.
Right, exactly.
Hey, listen,
it's like I'm earthy or I'm spiritual.
Well, now we have to play Shine, because now I feel like we're gonna go up again. But now one of the songs, Sugar Baby, that has it gives me like a little bit of Chicago vibe in that that song, Sugar Baby.
Yes. Well, and it makes sense. So we turned to Chicago blues a bit before we recorded this, just simply because we had a guitar player from Chicago with a lot of experience. And
cool. Yeah.
so it rubbed off, I think,
Awesome.
on our style when we were conceptualizing that song a little more. Because James wrote it and laid it down, but the rest of us decided how we would do our parts and so forth. So there's probably definitely some Chicago influence in there.
Cool.
And people, the swing dancers will jump up when that one comes on, for sure. So keep their
So
feet moving.
okay, let's talk about the
Swing
dance.
dancers.
Yeah, because it's really interesting. A friend of ours, Josh Pfeiffer, he's an amazing vocalist, jazz vocalist. His wife sings too, and goes out. He plays with some of the members of Tower of Power, and like we saw him out in Sonora, California, is where we met him at the Black Goat Casino. Nancy, remember?
Yeah.
And he got up there, and all of a sudden, I mean,
That's crazy.
and he's an amazing vocalist, but all of a sudden, all the ballroom dancers came out, like.
We're like, what's going
and
on?
we're like, we're in a casino. What the hell happened? Like, you'd rarely see this occur. And they were, I mean, amazing dancers. And it was just this beautiful scene that I even forgot to film it because it was just so like, wow.
It looked like part of the show. Like,
yeah,
we thought they were cast members and they were audience members.
Yeah,
It was
they were
crazy.
following him. And so swing dancers,
Yeah,
I can't remember, maybe a couple times being in places like, but it's got to be like a culturally rich and, like you said, vibrant place to see that happen, where people understand that history.
Oh, totally. Well, and there's and I love it from the stage. To me, it's most rewarding for us to play when there are people dancing, and I get a big grin on my face because it's just so fun to watch them. And some of them are really, really good. Like I'm thinking of like the Brian Setzer orchestra videos and some of their stuff.
Yeah,
where the dancing there's all over the place. So we do have that, and also what we do is a couple times we've included a lesson at the beginning of a gig. So you bring an instructor along. And advertise that, and you'll get people at different levels. Some might have a new date who doesn't dance, but they do. So the date wants to have some encouragement or some instruction, or people who just want to brush up their moves, or people who've never tried it. And I find that when we do that, people stay up and dance the whole time.
That's cool.
It's a good thing to do, and there are plenty of instructors around who understand swing dance. Yeah, so it's lots of fun.
Yeah,
and
that sounds fun.
Yeah, there are groups and listservs and stuff specifically for people looking for bands to swing dance to. So
wow.
Do you guys do weddings? Yeah. Because it would seem to me
we do. Yes.
Weddings have got to be like big for this,
We do, and we have, and we will.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so right after the people get married, you start singing "It Doesn't Mean a Thing If You Don't Got That Swing."
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
whatever they want.
Well, because I was also thinking, I mean, it's kind of interesting to dip back in the past of this, musical heritage. And when you think about it, having a wedding, there's like, oh, we're going to do the foxtrot. Now we're going to do this. And, I know guys who will just go, can I just learn one thing? And then we'll go from there. And I would think that this would be a really cool route for a lot of people. And it's fun music. I mean, it's fun and stylish, and it's energetic, and I mean, fun. I mean, when you're talking about the end of World War II, too, and you think about that, the end of the war, people were just so happy the war was ended,
Right. Yes.
There was dancing in the streets.
Yeah, and it appeals to cross-generationally, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I think I mentioned to you all earlier, we get bachelorette parties through Asheville a lot. So if you're out playing, there's usually one or two that will pass through the venue where you're playing, and it's fun. And you see these young people getting ready for that part of their lives, and they're out having a good time and looking for music, and they'll stop and dance. Bachelor parties also, but it seems like I see the bachelorette parties more often.
I wanted to know, would this kind of verge over into would the blues, this whole genre, would it move into rockabilly and blur lines that way? Well, do you think
it can? It can. We've collaborated with more country swing also. So the dance steps, fortunately, can work for both. It's just a little bit, maybe a change in the emphasis. But we have teamed up with the country swing also, and it especially around Asheville. There's people who, because we have a lot of the old time and the bluegrass and all, so it can blend that direction or go more the city feel you were catching in Sugar Baby. But they kind of meet each other here in Asheville. You know, Asheville is semi-cosmopolitan, metropolitan, small, but because it's nestled in the mountains. But yeah, those things blend here. That
I think it's a little bit about the hip action. If it's straight up country, there's not a lot of hip action.
Yes,
a little swing. You're doing the same dance, but you're putting a little swing in there.
Okay, now I gotta come see a show and watch everybody do that. But I want to come see a show.
You know what I mean? Because
to me, this is
it's a little bit of hip action.
Well, you know, with this, you know, I know you're Asheville-based, North Carolina, and you know, live music and everything. I'm going up and down of what's going to happen. Are we going to continue on? You know, we finally got to see some live music the other night, and it was like, oh my God, awesome. It was the best night of my entire year.
Yeah.
You know, and a really good friends band, really good band. And I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, that was my Christmas, my birthday, my New Year, every gift you could imagine.
Right.
Because it's so important to us. Now, performing now, are you feeling that way about going out? Like when you're performing, there's an extra level of, oh my God, this is so good. And for you and the audience, the appreciation, all of us.
Yes.
Just in that
Think
experience.
so, definitely. Yes. Being back out and being around live music. Yes. I think everybody's thankful. And we've made it happen. We've stayed, you know, of course, during the quarantine time, nobody was really doing anything. Video stuff. That's when we came up with, hey, let's do a CD, because, well, it was the summer, so we could be outside. We gathered in my carport a lot outside to practice and get ready. And then I guess we were spaced out enough when we recorded and wore masks when possible. You know, obviously the sax player and I didn't have masks on when we were singing or playing, but I think the others did. And then we did, we just played outside as much as we could. And we had to get a little bit creative to keep it happening during the winter months last year, just maybe playing at some different times. So we started playing more on Sundays, when things can be opened up earlier in the day, you know, open the doors and things like that. So
are you
know,
do you have any I was going to say, are you going to be doing more this winter? I know we're recording this at the end of November, so by the time this airs, dates may change. So everyone, you go to virginiaandtheslims.net, but what's winter looking like for you? Are you going to do more recording or more performing?
We'll stay active. In fact, we've already got some dates on, I think, all the way through maybe April. Going back to the Sunday thing that we did like last winter. It gets dark early, you know, and that's when you find people where I remember in the winter before the pandemic doing gigs in the winter from 10 to 1, the crowd fell off noticeably around midnight. Whereas in the spring and summer, they would want more even at 1 a.m. So yes, we will do our Sunday. I think I call it Second Sunday Brunch with Virginia and the Slims. Maybe last year I called it Continental Breakfast with Virginia and the Slims. But we do say, come on out from 10 to 1 on a Sunday afternoon. Last year we were in Hendersonville. This year we'll be in Brevard. We play in some of the surrounding areas too. But
cool.
Yeah, so we do keep it going. We keep it going, and sometimes the parties pick up a little bit in the winter months too. Small house parties.
To me, it just feels like a good party. Yeah, you have a party. You know, even over like January, February party. You know, the lights. I don't know. It just feels so festive.
Yeah.
You know, listening to your music.
Yes, it is.
To me, you want a gathering. You want to. I don't know. It just feels good, and you should have the old. You know, I want old cars now, and like I want to just
exactly.
It's like do you do car shows? Sure. It's got to be a part of your festival gigs and stuff is car shows.
Yes, Morganton, the town of Morganton, just down the mountain. A few summers ago, they had a car show, and we were the downtown band for the town of Morganton, and believe me, I went around and got photos with every car that matched my outfit.
Oh,
See, I
cool.
know. See,
You know?
I mean, it's the style. So, but also here's the thing. I think what is great about what you're doing is you're creating an experience. You know, it's like you're going out. There's a dress to it if you want to.
Mm.
There's a certain dance, which I think we've almost lost it, other than the Macarena. You know,
Oh,
certain,
Don't
Right,
you know,
talk
but there's
right.
ballroom dancing. There's, you know,
No,
there's
don't.
two-stepping and all that. So
No,
I'm just speaking off my hat right now. But honestly, I
the
think when this kind
Macarena.
of
Oh God.
we don't want that. But if people have a good time, let them have a good time. Each to their own. But
Oh
honestly,
my.
this is an experience, you know,
Yes,
to go.
yes. There's a level of respect and dignity that comes with having to know something about a dance step and being aware of your partner and where they're going to step and what the band's going to do next. And
So,
and I carry that in I always dress up. I love to wear
yeah.
a gown and wear gloves and wear jewelry, and when I can, I get my hair done. I like to step into the role fully.
Mm.
Yeah,
So you could
that's
ask
fun.
your audience to show up in the right kind of dress for the era that you're.
Yes, and we've done that, and we've
That'd
had
be
contests
cool.
where the ladies come
Yeah.
and line up, and we'll give them a prize. And often
Awesome.
venues will call us when they're doing something like that. You know, we're having a 20s party, and even though with
Yeah.
our jump blues, you think of just a little past the 20s, we'll still
Right.
harken back to that a bit, and we can pull into that
Oh,
vibe.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
There's something about that era of music from the 20s through the 50s to me that really the words were just simple, straight. You could get it immediately. The melodies were so pure, and just the beat, the rhythm, it was just so, whether it was a ballad or something you're going to really dance to, there is just such beauty to it. And
the
dynamics.
rebellion against prohibition. Yeah.
Hell
yes.
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 Screw
Yes.
prohibition.
A lot of our
Yeah.
songs, right, are
I'm
telling
still
those
mad at it,
stories
and I wasn't
of
even there.
speakeasies and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, it's
sorry.
like, you know, we're supposed to be America. You're supposed to be free, do what you want, not in a bad way,
Yeah.
but
Legalize
you
it
know,
all, man.
all these laws. We probably have more laws in this country than other places that aren't free. I'm like, dudes,
Right.
just
I don't know. We're not
People
communistic.
find a way.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
no
know,
kidding.
Found a way to drink.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you make it illegal, we're just going to do it illegally. So, you know,
Right.
that's it. We're going to still do it. So
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
Lisa. Well said on the
Yeah,
radio.
Uh-oh.
we cover some
Good.
songs about it.
don't pull
We
me
cover
over
some
and
songs.
see what's in my car. No, just kidding. It's not that bad. But listen, this is so cool. Like just to hear what you're doing in Nashville. Like I said, there's just such a sense of place of what you're doing too in Asheville. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors of the shows, the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast. So
Oh, they're
this
cool.
is this, and they're in the historic Montford district. So you know where I'm talking
Mm.
about, the Montford district.
I do. I know right what you're talking about.
They are so
And if you-
cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, they are. Well, if you take the trolley tour, I believe they go right past.
Yes.
Their,
Mhm, they do.
Yeah. Mhm.
And
We
they
used to
stop
wait
there.
to them.
And we actually innkeeped for them for
Yeah,
3
we did.
nights. We were
It was so
innkeepers just
funny.
to see what it was like for a story. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was cool. And it was over, October. So they had a Bates Motel sign that like flashing light sign in one of the windows. So you have a comedy trolley thing that goes around, and they stop
There is, and there's a haunted one too.
Yeah.
Well, and
They
because with
stop.
all the tuberculosis, people would come here when they had tuberculosis. So
Yeah.
it is associated with some amount of suffering. And Zelda Fitzgerald, of course, died
Yes.
here in
Mhm,
a fire.
in
Yeah.
Montford
So you-
district, down the street from the inn. We
mhm.
went there. We
Mhm.
found the place where she died in the fire. I'm still like, I keep telling everybody this
Yeah.
story about her. And, it's Scott Fitzgerald was like, the two of them, like, I think, has there been a movie made about them? Someone has to.
Oh,
Somebody
several.
should
And a
one.
musical. There was a musical piloted
Really?
over in Flat Rock and it was called Zelda, I think. Yeah. Sometimes they pilot
Oh.
movies musicals at Flat Rock to see if how can it be tweaked before it goes to off Broadway or whatever. But so
Oh.
it's a student working theater. I did see one called Zelda there. And of course, Zelda and Scott Fitzgerald would have just loved Virginia and the Slims. I know they would have.
I know, because that's the thing. When we got to Asheville, oh, go ahead, Nancy. I was going to
Oh,
say,
it's just Virginia
ahead.
and the Slims. Okay, we know that Virginia Slims are cigarettes, right?
yeah, I know. I love that. It's so funny.
But there's some part of me that when you say Virginia and the Slims, I want Jim Carrey in the mask to come forward in a little video clip that goes smoke it.
He opens it up. You've got to use it like something like that on your
Do you know what I mean?
opening video, like a video, like a music
Smoke
video.
it.
Open it, like that's it, and then there you go.
Smoke it.
Well,
And
and
then they,
to relate it back to Western North Carolina, of course, the cigarette paper was made here. Acusta in Brevard, I think.
I
is
didn't
the
know
one
that.
made
Oh.
cigarette paper. Yeah. So
Oh,
yes, North Carolina's history is thick in tobacco, but also the paper that
and
was
moonshine.
used to make the cigarettes.
and moonshine. I just think he should come out and go smoking every
Yeah,
time
but I
somebody
didn't know
goes
about
for
the paper. I knew, in some of we traveled all over North Carolina this year, and I was going to say when we got to Asheville, it was unexpected that we ended up there. It's just traveling full time during COVID is a very interesting thing, and I have a feeling it's going to get even more interesting just now. But we ended up in Asheville and at the Lion and the Rose, and we walked in, had no idea about this history of Asheville. All I knew is Asheville was cool because of the Smoky Mountains and beer, but I did not know in what we had walked into historically speaking. And we were at the Lion and the Rose, and we stayed up for a long time talking with the innkeeper, Steve and Karen, and went to bed. And they have this book of history of Asheville. I stayed up all night reading it, and it blew my freaking mind about all the writers like Fitzgerald's, and you've got O. Henry and Thomas Wolfe, and then all the musicians and the art, and how the festivals were created so many years ago. And so and even just in that area, and here we were sitting in history, like in that place around the corner from the cemetery. I always talk about the cemetery. I know people don't care about cemeteries like I do, but
we do our photo shoots in cemeteries. We like cemeteries.
Okay, so you've been to the one there in the Montford district, the one behind behind the beam.
that's a
Seriously
cool,
cool.
cemetery.
And people leave pennies on O. Henry's grave, and then some do it on Thomas Wolfe, and that's the wrong person.
Yeah,
but
they get
anyway,
all confused,
but
whatever.
it's so cool. The history.
It is. I agree. And I don't even know that when I moved here, I remembered that it all, came together here. And also Cherokee history and
The Native American history.
the Native American, that part of it. It just, so much of it meets together here. And then also with there's a good book called The Lady on the Hill about the history of the Biltmore. You had that Northeast large money coming in here to build their giant estate also. So it appealed to so many different people.
So there's a patrons of the arts at that point too, but then going into okay, so you lived in New Orleans and Florida. So I don't know where you were in Florida. Where Panhandle, South?
I was born near Tampa, which is in Dunedin. That's where my grandfather lived. And then as an adult, briefly, I lived in Hollywood. I worked in an arts academy there. I taught.
So Everglades. Yeah.
Cool.
Right now
right across, and a lot of cruise ship people coming through. I did vocal coaching sometimes for cruise ship talent, and
no way.
And Menudo was doing some some auditions. I remember training.
I remember them. Menudo. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, what? Okay, I want to go back to that, but we're actually in Florida when we're recording this right now. We're in Florida right now, which is funny.
Oh,
and there's iguanas outside our door.
Cool.
They're not iguanas anymore. They're so big.
Massive.
They're
They're like
dinosaurs.
Godzillas.
But
But they
seriously.
might take me to the Mardi Gras too, because it has a little bit of that island feel at the beginning.
But that's what I was going to say. But the New Orleans thing and understanding the South a little bit, there is in New Orleans and getting into all the swampy areas. So the swampies.
You got
there is like this mysticism that comes out of it. Mysticism, am I saying it right? Yeah, that mystical, like
black magic, voodoo.
Yeah, there's that. Ooh, well, in the
where
Smoky
the spiritual
Mountains,
and the earthy meet.
Yeah, Smoky Mountains did that to me. We did the Smoky Mountain Parkway a couple of times, just once getting completely lost, going to Georgia, and we went to Roanoke, Virginia. Well, almost
Instead.
made it there instead.
Oopsie.
And then the other time we actually did it and went from the Smoky Mountains, Maggie something. We're in a
Maggie
town of-
Valley. Yeah,
Maggie Valley, went there and then through down to Smoky Mountains National Park and then up to Asheville. But there was the fog, right? And I'm like,
Mhm.
dude,
Oh, yes.
this gave me that same feeling of swampy Louisiana, panhandle of Florida. It just gave me that
Yes.
because there's something about the fog, water, I don't know, mountains. There's
And,
the
mist. I know what you mean.
you know what I mean. Okay, so
I do.
that's part of the music too, doesn't it? Kind of.
It is. And I think the song Push On Through on the CD, that is the vibe there. It starts off, Old River's going to rise above, Old River's going to rise. It's kind of a slow part.
Mhm.
And that's definitely the vibe.
Mhm.
I mean, it really was more from the Kansas City days. But again, Kansas City's on the river also. So
And it's not that far.
yeah. Right.
Well,
It's
no,
that
it's not
river
far.
and the mist, and yeah, for sure.
Ooh,
Picking up on the stuff that I'm
Swampy.
picking up on.
Yeah.
Swampy. It's
I'm
swampy.
digging this. This is very cool. It's so cool to connect and meet with you. Hopefully, we'll see you one day. We're in Nashville. You never know what happens in the world of travels, but it is so good to hear your music and hear the music, what you're creating, and also that you're carrying the torch for a really cool genre. Well, a couple of genres, I'm going to say. A few genres in
Right.
there. Yeah. You're a blend. We like the blend.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. It's a
We
blend.
like the blend.
It's about connection.
So everyone,
Yeah,
again, go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I hope we run into you here too when we're playing.
Yeah, we'd love to see you perform live. It would be so cool. Everyone, Busman's Holiday is the album, again, by Virginia and the Slims. No, you're not allowed to smoke indoors anymore, but it does make you somehow I want to go and smoke a cigarette now that Nancy was saying that. But I don't do
Smoking.
that anymore. I know. But everyone, Virginia and the Slims.net is the website. They're on Facebook. Again, the album is out on Amazon. You can get it on Apple. You can get it on everything. I'm looking at this Pandora, Spotify, but are you on Bandcamp?
I don't remember if it's
Yeah,
on Bandcamp.
I got Amazon,
I-
Spotify, Jaxsta, Pandora, Apple. Go to Virginia and the Slims.net and go see them. And people can buy the albums from you and they see you at a gig. They can do that too.
yes. I usually keep a stack right at the front of the stage, and all those links you mentioned are also on the website too.
Right on.
Cool.
And they have gear on the website too. You got like all kinds of t-shirts and all kinds of good stuff. And if you like the album cover like I do, you can even have a t-shirt with it on. So go check
Yes,
it
you
out.
can.
And everyone,
And that picture was in Florida, by the way.
it was in Florida.
That
See, we're-
photograph is in Florida.
we went all over today. Did we miss anybody? I think we went all over the Southeast today. I love it. I love it. And also the Midwest a little bit for Kansas City,
Yes.
St. Louis, a little bit of that. And I do think Texas would dig it too. I'm just saying, taking you a little further west. And I think Central California in the Central Valley would totally
Uh-huh.
dig it too. Like the whole farm community out there, you go in there and you feel like you go from the Bakersfield Sound really when you drive through, and it's like so cool to just do that and listen and go on the old
Yeah.
farm country roads. But they get it. They hold on to heritage musically and culturally, and it's really a cool area. So I just feel like you should be there too. I'm just saying you need to go
Oh,
west a
Well,
little
good.
further.
I'll try to.
And you
get it
need to
out
go to
there.
Pappy and Harriet's
Yeah, that's a good place.
in Pioneer Town, outside of Joshua Tree National Park. It's Pioneer Town, between Palm Springs, Joshua Tree National Park. Look it up. You need to go there. Like all the rockabilly. That's what's thinking of the rockabilly.
Yeah,
You know,
that
the
would go down
West,
really well
the
there.
desert people get
Yeah.
this too, and there was like a whole movement in the Southwest for it too. So I'm just saying.
Okay, cool. Yeah. No, I love
know,
that.
I know,
love that.
I know a lot of friends who are going to be digging this. So, everyone, lion-rose.com is for the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast. You've got to go see them. When you check in, you will meet Ozzy and Oreo, the little doggies, Steve and Karen, the innkeepers. And also you'll get a beer if you want one, because they brew beer at the B&B. They're very cool. And and if you're there on Sunday, you get to have beer mimosas. And apparently once they used to have porch concerts out there back in the day. I
Yeah.
think that's was
fun.
something in
Yeah.
Nashville.
And they are the only
Music
people I
fans.
know who has a dog that looks like Bob Newhart.
Yes. That would be Oreo. Does look like Bob Newhart. But
And
they're
an
really
innkeeper,
great.
too.
I know. I know, right? Totally. I thought everybody told us when we were going to go be innkeepers or to watch the Bob Newhart, and we still haven't seen it. We need to go watch it. But
And listen to Joanna. Remember on the show, his wife's name was Joanna.
Yeah.
And,
see?
that's
Oh,
my
well,
real
there,
name.
See?
there you
It all
go.
fits together.
There it goes. We've come full circle. So everyone again, VirginiaandtheSlims.net, lion-rose.com. And of course, keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. We air every single day, except for main holidays, but pretty much we'll probably sneak something in on that too. So just keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. And here it is. We're going to close out with Take Me to the Mardi Gras, because we got to go to New Orleans now too. So there it is.
Sounds
Thanks so
good.
much,
Sounds
Joanna.
good. Thank you.
Thanks.
I didn't know what day it was when you walked into the room. I just stepped into that corner bar. You looked like you'd stepped off the moon. Your hair was long, your legs were too. They spun and sparkled, and I knew the biggest thing I'd ever want to do. And for the first time said to you, won't you take me to the Mardi Gras? Walk me down along the levee wall. Take me dancing to the dead man's ball. Let me spin but never fall. Scattered way, inquisition played across your face. I made a move, you just backed away. I didn't stop and you stayed. Excuse me please, are you all alone? I lost my money to the telephone. The river breezes chill me to the bone, and I'm so far away from home. Won't you take me to the Mardi Gras? Walk me down along the levee wall. Take me dancing to the dead man's ball. Let me spin but never fall. My skin is pale, my eyes are blue. I feel I'm nothing standing next to you. Your finger's stronger than my melancholy blues. I figure, what if I to lose? If I should stumble down the avenue, if I'm unsteady, if I come unglued, if I should take a tumble, all you gotta do is dust me off and tie my shoe. Won't you take me to the Mardi Gras? Walk me down along the levee wall. Take me dancing to the dead man's ball. Let me spin but never fall. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la.